Hey guys, this is Super D, and today we're gonna be doing something a little different. So recently, Minecraft Pocket Edition hit 30 million sales, and that's a lot of people. Like even more than have bought the PC version. PC version's only recently hit 18 million sales. So Pocket Edition definitely is the most popular version of Minecraft. And to celebrate that amount of sales, the devs decided to host a Q&A live stream where people would post questions to the Reddit thread and they would answer them. And a lot of cool stuff came out of that. The live stream is up on YouTube, but it's an hour and a half long, and I'm not sure everyone wants to sit there like I did and watch an hour and a half of Johan, Tommaso, and the other guy, Owen, just talk about Minecraft. So yeah, I make this video where I basically summarize everything they said in that live stream, all the important stuff, so you don't have to sit around and well watch something for an hour and a half. So they're not going to be in any particular order. They're going to be well, actually, it is kind of in order. It's going to be in the order they said these things, except I switched some stuff around because it made sense for some things to go with each other. So, yeah, but there's good stuff at the beginning and at the end, so, like, and throughout. So you can't just, like, only watch part of this video. You have to watch all of it if you want to get all the good stuff. So I guess we'll start off with one of the things they started off with boats. Tommaso's already been telling us a lot about boats before on Twitter, but yeah. Basically, his new boats, he wanted to remove the frustration that happened in boats with PC, how they break so easily. So it made them slightly stronger. Like, they're not going to be, like, extremely fragile like they are in PC, but they'll still break. Um, but they're more expensive to make, and they'll require logs instead of planks. We knew that from the tweet. But he also wanted to add his own sort of twist on boats, he mentioned in the live stream, though, where, like, you we already know previously that you would need a paddle to use the boats, but now we know more about that. He says, like, with the controls, like, you will actually have to paddle. Like, you would tap on one side of the screen to paddle left, and tap on the other side of the screen to paddle right. So, like, the controls are really different, and I think it's kind of interesting, but I also kind of think it's kind of bad because it doesn't mean we won't be able to just push the button forward to go forward, but I guess it's still cooler that way, and I'm sure tapping on both sides isn't that hard. So that new controls for the boats would, I think, are really cool. Um, they don't. They said, it's up to the PC team if they want to port it back to PC, but as far as we know, that's how we're getting it in Pocket Edition. Another thing they talked about, or people asked about, was controller support, and not just controller support, but also keyboard support, dual screen support, and portrait mode, out of all things. But um, controller support, they said, um, maybe for the fall, like they're not really considering it right now. It's not really on their radar. But basically, controller support isn't coming anytime soon. Um, they're not planning any keyboard support. And what the person asking meant about dual screen is like using your device as a controller but being able to play on a TV. The devs were really confused with that, and I am too. But they saw like not really any reason to do it. But they did mention like there could be reasons, but no reason to make that yet, so that's not planned. Um, Johan actually had experimented with portrait mode at one point, but he didn't really like it because he felt the if you like hold your tablet in portrait and like the top end is gonna be a lot heavier than the like it'll be like leaning forward when you're playing. So like he thought that was awkward. So no portrait mode planned so far. Um, but they did mention more a little bit about new controls in general for the game. Like they did say if whenever they make the new controls, they want to at least add sneaking. Don't know if sprinting will be added or not. They didn't really talk about that, but at least they want to add sneaking when the new controls come out. They also talked about, someone asked about the debug menu, the F3 menu from PC, and wanted that in Pocket Edition. They, Dev said no to that because mainly the F3 menu is really only used for cheating, like figuring out where you are. And so, so they didn't want to add that because it's not really realistic to the game, and unless there was like another reason for that to be. But yeah, no debug screen for now. Um, but Tommaso did mention that he wanted to add maps because that then you would know where you are. But he did want to make them a little more useful than they are in PC because he noticed that like by the time you can get maps eventually like in the game, you usually have like a lot of good stuff and you're already like used to your world and you don't really need the map as much. So he wanted to make it more useful so like it's easier earlier on to get a map. He didn't really clarify much about that, but maps, woo. Um, and another thing that came up was the Nether, and I know I really want the Nether. The Nether is cool, and they were talking about how there really isn't anything preventing them from making the Nether, so they are planning it. We still have no idea when we're gonna get it though, and we do know that along with the Nether, we will be getting the Wither, because yeah, and we will be getting a few other, and well, this isn't necessarily with the Nether, but they said this aside, but we will get more of the Nether brick stuff because we only have Nether bricks, but we don't have Nether brick fences or Nether brick slabs, so we will be getting those. Um, and but yeah, they said there's really nothing preventing them from making the Nether because like the devices should be able to handle that, and they did talk a little bit more about like devices and um like what they can handle with the game, like should like they asked like would they have to drop devices eventually, but they said well they don't see a reason to drop old devices for now. Like they like to keep with like old worlds and infinite worlds. Like that's a good way to have old devices still be able to play the game but also get new features. So they have no reason to drop old devices, But more on like what devices can handle. Someone asked about if there could be the 256 height limit, block height limit from PC instead of our 128 one. And Tommaso said no to that because that would double the amount of RAM or processing power that the game would need, and that's not good. So for now, no new height limit, but that's okay. Um, Now, one piece of really exciting news that came out during this live stream was the fact that 3 new developers are being added to the Minecraft Pocket Edition team. 2 of them have already been signed in. One of them they're not sure about. Um, one of the developers will be starting in February, and the other in March. So, like, that's really exciting. That means we'll be getting like new features faster, more people working on the team. So, be and more people to follow on Twitter, more people to stalk. But yeah, 3 new developers. That's amazing. Um, they did later on as they were talking about some new features that could possibly be added. They mentioned there were smaller things that maybe the new developers can handle. So among these, they talked about fishing and ocelots. The only reason ocelots weren't added in 0.9 with dogs or wolves was because there was no fishing and they didn't have time to make fishing. So they thought like maybe one of the new developers could handle fishing, and if fishing gets added by one of the new developers, then ocelots will come. So that's cool. And another thing they said they could probably handle was in-game music. But they did mention the only problem with in-game music is that the files were too big. It's like 100 MB of just music for the game, and that would like easily like blow up the app size by a lot. And they didn't really want to do that, but they did mention the possibility of recreating the music into MIDIs. A MIDI is a dot MIDI is a music file type, but yeah, it's not really um it's not like storage expensive as much as like I don't know an MP3, but yeah, they wanted to use MIDIs maybe to reduce the file size of music. So that's another thing that could possibly happen. Um, where am I? Oh yes, and one other thing came out. Realms will be back as soon as possible for Minecraft Pocket Edition. Um, for a player like without have like one developer will be like the Realms guy, like working on Realms for that and multiplayer stuff. So like one of the new developers. So yeah, that's when I guess whenever that guy comes on board, we'll be getting Realms. Realms will be using the new PC name system, like linking your name to PC if you have the PC version. Um, they haven't specified anything if you only have Pocket Edition, but yeah. And they didn't. They did say that they're not sure of how to handle names on external servers, like big multiplayer servers such as Lifeboat. Like that's not really their thing. They don't know how that will be handled. So yeah. And another interesting thing about servers, someone suggested that they add the ability to click a link like on a web page and be able to join a Minecraft server that way. And they said, why not? We could do it. So joining servers via a link, that'll be cool sometime. And another thing, um, eventually we should be able to export our worlds. They don't know when, but we will be able to export Minecraft worlds somehow. And they did talk about wanting to have ways to easily, transfer worlds and whatnot. They've talked about it before, but we still don't really know too much about it. Um, they did say some stuff about mobs. Some people have asked for better mob AI because our villagers aren't staying in their village and they can't open doors, and like mobs like I guess wolves don't track sheep and that kind of stuff. So they don't really have they don't know anything. Well, Johan and Tommaso didn't know anything about the mob AI. They said that's um Jeb's job, so they literally are telling us like throughout the live stream to bother Jeb about everything. So tweet Jeb about mob AI. But they didn't mention that emeralds like in trading will be around whenever that mob AI is added. Like whenever villagers get their improved AI, we will be getting trading and emerald using then, or at least around the same time. And some mobs that have been discussed during the live stream were spider jockeys and baby zombies. Spider jockeys are a skeleton riding a spider, which is crazy, and baby zombies are just baby zombies, little tiny zombies, and they're so annoying because they're smaller, so they fit through more places, and they're freaking fast, and it's annoying. But yeah, they haven't specified any time we'll be getting them, but yeah, they discussed those mobs in the stream. They discussed UI revamp, like menu revamp, because like I guess the buttons are boring, as someone said. But yeah, they do want to improve the menus to the game, so that's planned. They want to add new particle effects to the game because, I mean, they already kind of started doing that with the recent updates, but now they could add a lot more. And they want to add like the newer sounds to Android because, come on, old sounds are so old. We need new sounds. So yeah, we will be getting new sounds. None of these have any specific times when we'll be getting them, so that's kind of sad. But more about menus. people have been wanting survival menus in creative, which I definitely want. Like that would be amazing. But they did mention that the survival menus, when like being creative, will be added like around the same time with like whenever we get a game mode switch, and we don't know when that is. More about menus though. People have been wanting drag and drop, like more like PC inventories, and they didn't really want that because it's slower. Like they said, people like to do things fast, and tapping items is a lot easier than dragging them and dropping them. It's dragging and dropping is slower. Tapping is just so much faster for them. So to keep things fast for people who like things fast, we're not getting drag and drop menus anytime soon. And another thing that we won't really be getting is mods, or yeah, mods to the game, because well, really that encourages jailbreaking for Apple people, so like they don't want to encourage that. And yeah, but well, mods don't really work too well for Pocket Edition, except if you're on Android and you have Block Launcher. Mods work pretty well there, but yeah, there's not really going to be any official support for mods, and nor will there be an official API to make modding the game easier. They don't really want to. They're not really gonna do that. But the one type of modification that they will be adding though is texture packs. Like they will eventually be adding support for texture packs. So then you can get new Super Mario Craft straight from your Minecraft. That would be awesome. But yeah, texture pack support will be coming. Um, some people have asked for a few random features, achievements specifically. They don't have plans for achievements. They would maybe like to add them, but there's no plans for achievements. Um, Enchanting and horses. People, one of the questions asked in the stream was, will you add enchanting or horses? It was a weird question, but they basically, or I don't remember how the question went, but basically they asked about that, and Tommaso and Johan agreed that they would add enchanting before adding horses. So, because enchanting is a lot more useful than horses. A quote from Tommaso that the horses make minecarts useless or more pointless. But yeah, enchanting will be coming before we get horses, and we don't know when we're getting either of those. So yeah. Another feature requested was weather, and of course, they said yeah they want weather. They did mention though that they wanted to make it a little more unique than just like how it just rains in some biomes and snows in other biomes, but they didn't really talk too much about it. But yes, they do want to add weather to the game. A lot of people asked about commands. Sadly, we're not going to be getting commands, but I can understand his reasoning. Tommaso likes to say that commands aren't good for the gameplay. Like, I mean, first of all, you have to type, and typing on phones is terrible. I mean, I know that myself. Typing on a small phone is not good to do. That's why I'm glad I have a tablet. But typing on a phone is annoying, and so commands would be annoying. And another thing about commands, like if you just mess up one little thing in the command, like it breaks everything, and it's just not easy to do commands. So commands aren't really gameplay friendly so far. So unless eventually they figure out some way to make them gameplay friendly, commands won't be added anytime soon. Now, one big thing discussed in the stream is redstone, and I know a lot of people are excited about this, including me. They did mention that redstone will be optimized for PE, like the Pocket Edition. Like the code will be different than in PC, but the function will be the same as PC. Like you don't have to you'll be able to place the blocks the same way, and it should work the same. Um, they did kind of give us an idea of when this will be coming out. They said quote from Tommaso, it'll come out before beta. So, and jokingly they asked, well, when's beta? Well, after Redstone. Basically, now, um, we know that beta won't come out until we get Redstone, and we won't get Redstone until who knows when. So basically, we don't know when beta's out, so we're stuck in alpha. But yeah, Redstone will come out before beta, and that's all we know. So that's awesome. Um, they talked another really big thing about this was skins. Skins will be coming out in the next update, 0.11, or next major update. I don't know if they're gonna make it 0.10.6 or whatever, but 0.11 was gonna have skins, and according to Johan, there's gonna be 3 ways to get your skins. The first way is you'll be able to choose between either Steve or Alex, like the default skins. You can choose between those. The second way to use your skin is to specify like a file on your device, like just like so this would make it so that you could like download a skin and just use it from the game. So that's pretty cool. And the third way that they're gonna be doing is that they're gonna release skin packs, so you can have skins from the skin pack. So yeah, there's basically 3 ways. There's Steve and Alex, whatever you want, or skin. Oh, excuse me, skin packs. But yeah, and I think these last few the skins and redstones have brought up some stuff about the versions of the game, like when's the next update? When's 0.11? Well, we now know they do plan for 0.11 to be available like around March, or at the very latest, like if it were to get delayed, at the latest April. So I guess we'll be getting this before school comes out. School goes out. So that's kind of awesome. They did also mention 0.11 will not be the last alpha version. We don't know when the last alpha version will be. We don't. But basically, if we don't have Redstone, it's not the last alpha version. So we kind of know that. Um, some stuff more about game versions. We they haven't noticed how because there is no iOS snapshots. The iOS versions tend to be a lot buggier than the Android ones, and they don't really have. They haven't really had a way to deal with that. But now that they're owned by Microsoft, now they're gonna help them out by giving them a testing team to test the iOS version, so that the iOS won't be as buggy when it gets released. So that's really cool. I know it's kind of unfortunate that iOS won't be getting snapshots, but you're not gonna get a buggy game either. So, yay! No bugs. No bugs is good. Hugs are good. But yeah, and one last feature is the end, and this kind of goes a little more with the whole versions of the game. They didn't mention that the end will not come in alpha or in beta versions of the game. The end is being saved for the full version of the game. So basically, we're not gonna don't get your hopes up for the end, because we're not getting that in a long time. But yeah, so basically that summarized most of what they said in the stream. There are some goofy questions in there that don't really talk about Minecraft. But yeah, that's basically all the important stuff from the dev stream. I hope you guys are excited for some of the new features. I'm really excited for those devs. I want to see what kind of features they'll be bringing along. And but yeah, it's kind of sad that we don't really have a lot of um, dates to go by of the new features. But that's how Mojang kind of rolls. They don't like to have release dates, because then like if they don't make it in time, then they'll have to delay and people get upset and blah blah blah. So, but yeah, that's basically all that there was to the stream, and I hope you guys didn't get bored this video. I'm sure you didn't, though, because there's a lot of cool stuff coming to Pocket Edition. The future is looking really bright, and I'm excited. to see what comes in the future. um, so yeah, I'll be linking the live stream down below if you still want to watch it for whatever reason. I don't know why you would now that you watched mine, because now you know basically everything they said. Oh, wait, I think I forgot something. One of the questions Johan and Tommaso were asked, like, if they could add anything to the game without being questioned, like, about it, like, if they could just add whatever they wanted, what would they add? Tommaso jokingly said guns, but after he corrected himself, and he said Tommaso would really like to add in like underground biomes to the game, like how he was experimenting before, like the giant like open cave to build in. He wants to add more exploration stuff to underground. And Johan said he wanted to add like flags to like mark places. In my opinion, it kind of sounds similar to banners, but I'm not exactly sure what he was thinking with flags, but it sounds interesting. So yeah, that's what Johan would like to add. And but yeah, that's basically everything they said in the stream. I'm pretty sure I haven't forgotten anything now. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video and comment what you're most excited about in the future updates. So, but that's basically it for now. And well, be excited for the new versions of Minecraft. Goodbye, guys. Hey guys, this is Super D, and today we're gonna be doing something a little different. So recently, Minecraft Pocket Edition hit 30 million sales, and that's a lot of people.